Has your CV boot broken like mine? Well, today I'm going to be showing you how to fix it, and I'm not even a mechanic. Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel. As I said before, today we are fixing my CV boot, which is split. And I'm not a mechanic, but we're going to give it a go anyways. I'm going to be showing you step by step how I'm doing it. Super basic for someone who doesn't really know what they're doing themselves. However, we're just going to get into it, give it a crack, try our best. It's going to be a little bit of a different video, not quite as cut and polished as some of our other ones, just because I'm not focusing on filming, I'm just focusing on getting the job done. So just come along for the ride with me and let's get this fixed. All right, first thing we need to do is take the wheel off, jack the car up obviously beforehand, and put some jack stands on, slide the wheel underneath the car for safety, and then we'll be able to see what we're looking at. Hard doing this one-handed. Okay, so I have a second gen 2012 Isuzu D-Max. So if you have the same car, then this will be very easy. However, the principle is the same for other vehicles. So now that we've got our wheel off, we can sort of see what the go is a little bit more. But first thing we're going to be doing is taking our brake caliper off. It's just two 22mm bolts around the back here, as you can see. Those two bolts there, 22mm bolts. That's going to take our caliper off, and then we're just going to cable tie up somewhere just around here to make sure there's not too much tension on this hose, so we don't damage it. But let's get this caliper off and out of the way. All right, caliper is off, cable tied to the bump stop there on the side. All right, next step for the D-Max, we've got to take this plate off so we can access this little circlip that goes around the front axle. So just take off all these bolts and remove this cap. All right, then this plate should just peel off. All right, there we go. Okay, so now there's this little circlip, as you can see there. So you need to take this off. I don't have circlip pliers, so I'm just gonna do it dodgy with a couple of flathead screwdrivers. Then this will be able to come off, which will free up this so that we can take our CV out of it once we remove a couple other parts. So yeah, let's keep going. That then slides off. As I took that circlip off, it just flung into me. Grease over there. Anyways, bush band shirt's toast. Next up, we want to disconnect this steering arm that's connected to the caliper so that this thing can move freely. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. We basically got to take this little pin out, unscrew the bolt almost to the top, and then knock the side of this. We're going to have to knock it pretty hard. This bolt here is also 22mm, so just loosen that. Just roughly about there like that. All right, we've got the ice cream truck coming. Now we want to whack this just there. Okay, I didn't get it on video, but I just hit that, as you can see. Hit that and that slid down. So now we can unscrew this. And boom, that's out the way. Make sure you also remove this ABS sensor, which is held on by here. You can just get a screwdriver and bend these little brackets out, and then that will slide out like that. So remove that one, and then also remove this bolt up here that holds that sensor line. Okay, so as you can see here, I've removed this ABS cable. Next up, we want to take these 4 bolts out here so that this slides out. And then after we've done that, we want to do the same thing that we did with this steering arm, but just on this bottom bolt here that's connecting to that lower control arm. And then we're going to have to take this off. Right, next up is this bolt under here on the lower control arm. It's a 29mm bolt. Take that pin out and then give it a good hard thwack. Okay, so I've just given that lower ball joint a ferruled whack, and that's popped down. So now we can move this rotor out the way, and then we can access our CV boot. Okay, once you've slid your rotor off and fixed it to the side, we then just want to take this part of the CV off of that front axle. So we're going to cut, with a grinder, we're going to cut this hose clamp here and here, and with a knife we're just going to cut down the middle of that boot, and then we're going to pull this part of the CV off of the axle so we can slide on our new boot. All right, so here is our new CV boot. It comes with the boot, two hose clamps, and the grease that you need. It's about 70 bucks or so for one. But as you can see here, I've got the old boot off, and this CV is just sitting here. I've got my bin under there in case any grease sort of drips. But now we're just gonna have to give it a little bit of a yank to pull it off. You sort of bend it down like this and then just pull it. Now just bear in mind there is flex in the back there, so you're gonna have to really pull it, because otherwise the flex sort of takes it out of your pull, if you know what I mean. So try and pull this off of the axle, and then we'll just clean it up and put our new hose clamps on and our new boot. Crap, there we go. I did just break my nail, but other than that, happy days. Put them off. Small one on first. Just rotate it. Get this in. There we go. Now we're just gonna fill this with about, at least 3/4 of the grease that they provide. Just all in there, smush it all in there. We'll put that back onto the axle, just this part of the axle as well. Make sure it's all good, put it over, and then we'll just clamp it off with these hose clamps. All right, as you can see, got most of the grease in there. Now we're just gonna push it back into this bad boy, and yeah, she's gonna be greased up, which is always good. Now, in tightening these hose clamps, there's a special tool for this, which I obviously do not have. But it's going to be hard to show you guys because I can't really film it at all. Basically, that little tab on the right, you just pull that and tighten it, and then you bend it over, and it sort of locks it off. And then you fold those two little tabs there over, so it just pinches on itself. So all I'm doing is I'm just getting some long pliers, rolling it around those pliers until it pulls tight, and then just bending it over and locking it off. I suppose I don't know for sure, but I suppose you could just buy one of those hose clamps you use with a flathead screwdriver. I suppose that would work as well. But I'm just going to lock this boot off now, probably just off camera, and show you once it's done. As you can see there, that's the hose clamp there. I've just rolled it up with my pliers on this side, rolled it clockwise so it's rolling into it, pulls it tight, folded it over, all right, and then I've just pinched it off there and pinched it off there, and then now I'll cut this off here. And then we pretty much just put everything back together, but that there is the new boot. All right, now I'm just gonna go get my wife to give me a hand, because I need to obviously do these top 4 bolts, but I got to pull this upper control arm down, which is very hard to do 3 things at once. So also make sure not to forget to put your ABS line back into these little brackets so that it doesn't get caught on anything when you're driving. Alrighty folks, there you have it. Brake caliper is back on. Everything is tightened. Obviously CV boot outer is on. So yeah, job well done. Let's hope my inner boot or my CV in general doesn't go soon, because I have to do it all again. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. I know it probably wasn't the best thing out on the market regarding how to do a CV. However, if you are a bit of a noob like myself, perhaps this was a little bit more helpful, having a bit more of a basic understanding around how to replace your CV outer boot. As you can see, my hands are black, but I can drive easy now, knowing that my boot isn't just collecting dust as I drive. So very good. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next video, and I'll catch you next time.